Hi, this is Cath King, and I'm coming to talk to you today about something that has been coming up a lot with my clients. A lot of people have been asking about it and having problems with it, and that is how to eat a healthy diet, the type of diet that I recommend, which is a low-fat, high-raw, plant-based diet in social situations. And this is a real problem for lots of people because we live in a society where the paradigms around food are just so different from what's actually necessary for you to be healthy. And a lot of people, when they try to eat this way in social situations, feel a bit like an outcast. They feel like they don't fit in, and it can even be really hard to find food that they can actually eat. But I'd really like to reassure you today to say that you don't have to compromise your diet in social situations. And the first point I'd like to make about it is that eating this way is as much of a big deal as you make it. It's all about mindset. You can approach it with the mindset that society is against you and vegan diets, and that you're going to be judged or made fun of. You can think really negatively in that you're going to have to fight to get your needs met, and if that's how you think, then that is what you will experience. Whereas you can choose to approach it with the mindset that what you're doing is the right thing for you and the right thing for the planet, and that people around you love you and that they want to meet your needs, and that this way of eating is easy and natural. And when you have those thoughts around this kind of diet, then that's what you're going to draw to you. So the universe will meet whatever expectations you have. And apart from mindset, in terms of what you actually do, I think the most important thing for people to know is that it's okay to say no. And many people are scared of saying no because of that there's a fear of offending. And no one wants to be offensive and cause problems, but there are so many ways that you can say no to food without offending anybody, as long as it comes from a gracious place and it's done in a really polite and friendly way. And it's really important to say no, because if you compromise, even occasionally, people will always put pressure on you. But what I've found is that when you're consistent with firmly and lovingly saying no, people eventually give up pressuring you, and they'll often start providing you with the type of food that you need. They'll, if they've got something on, they'll make sure that there's fruit. When there's a meal, they'll make sure that there's a salad for you. And the next thing, I guess, to address this is to be prepared. Other people's actions are all very well and good, but you have to put your success in your own hands. So, for instance, going out to dinner can be a real hard problem, and I always tend to eat before I go out for dinner. If I'm going anywhere, doesn't matter where, I've always got fruit in my bag. I often will take my smoothie with me, or I'll take a salad with me. I'll make up a salad in a lunch box. Restaurants can be difficult, but in a restaurant, what I tend to do is to order a salad with no dressing, and I always take my own dressing with me, so I'll make up a dressing and take it in a little glass jar, and then when they bring me my salad with no dressing, I can just pour my dressing over the top. And you can always suggest restaurants that you know has food that you can eat. So my favourite in Christchurch is somewhere called the Lotus Heart, and the Lotus Hut is a fantastic vegetarian restaurant, and what it gives you the opportunity to do is to expose your friends and family to really good vegan cuisine, and it can then challenge that preconception that most people have that vegan food has to taste bad. Another good option is to suggest a buffet, because then you can just go to the salad bar and choose any vegetables you want to make your salad out of, and if you've got your own dressing, then that's taken care of and nice and easy. If you have enough time to, it's a great idea to phone ahead and talk to the chef and tell the chef what your needs are, and this brings up another big factor, which is communication. Communication is really important. Whether you are talking to the chef or the wait staff, you need to be really clear. You need to spell it out. A lot of people won't know what a plant-based diet is. They won't know what vegan is. So you need to be specific and say no meat, including fish, because it's amazing how many people think that fish is a vegetable. So no meat, including fish, no dairy, no eggs, no oils. And some people I know have got this fantastic idea. They've made up these little cards that they can give to the wait staff and the chef that explain exactly what it is, so they don't have to keep on repeating themselves, and the wait staff can take that away to the kitchen and use it. And I guess it goes without saying as well, but manners are really important. Smile. Don't be the grumpy vegan who's not happy with anything sitting in the corner. If there's a restaurant or a coffee shop that you go to often, then talk to them about how you can continue to eat there. They don't want to lose your business. Restaurants really want your money. They will give you what you want because you're the one paying them. And the more restaurants, and people in general really, who are exposed to this kind of diet, the more accepted it will become. And a great example of this is the whole gluten-free thing. Years ago, people who were intolerant to gluten found it really hard to go anywhere and get anything to eat. But these days, no matter where you go, there are gluten-free options. And if you don't speak out and ask, nothing is ever going to change. Another social situation that can be quite difficult is having meals at friends' homes. But friends can really be your biggest support if you approach them properly. So in a way that's not judgmental and not preachy, but just communicating your needs in a respectful and loving way. And be really open and honest that this way of eating makes you feel great. And don't be afraid to stand out or be different. Remember that there's more to relationships than food. So you don't have to eat the same food as everyone else. Enjoy people's company, enjoy the conversation. Maybe suggest other social activities that don't involve food, go for a bike ride or a walk together, visit art galleries, museums, go dancing, that's one of my favourites. Listen to music, go to a concert. Maybe invite people to your home for a meal and make them the most beautiful, delicious, healthy food you can. Don't feed them food you know is bad for them, even if it's the food that they would normally eat. If you truly love them, don't contribute to their illness. Care enough to feed them nourishing food. At other people's places, offer to bring something and then bring enough for your whole meal, plus bring extra to share with other people. It's a fantastic opportunity to share your way of life and your discoveries, your knowledge about health and about nutrition with other people. If it's someone you don't know very well, just explain that you follow an unusual nutrition plan and have lots of sensitivities. So could you bring your own meal to eat with them? And lots of people will still want to make you something that you can eat. So again, communication, explain that you eat vegetables, fruit, grain, pulses, but no meat, eggs, dairy or oils. And if they're an adventurous soul, they might even give it a go. And if that's too difficult for them, then you've already offered to bring your own meal. As well as dealing with people who are not eating the way you're eating. It's really an amazing experience to become involved in social events with others who share the same way of life. So become involved in social groups from your local vegetarian or vegan or raw vegan communities, and it's so refreshing to be part of a social group when everyone is following a similar dietary lifestyle to you and you're not surrounded by temptation all the time. And then we come to my secret weapon, and this has probably been the most helpful thing that I've found for eating a healthy diet in social situations. And my secret weapon is that I don't just follow a plant-based diet for health reasons. I'm also an ethical vegan, and so that gives me the perfect excuse to turn down unhealthy food. And over the years it has served me so well. The idea that I'm not just doing this for my own personal petty good. There's this big picture and a reason that's far larger than just me. And so that means that there's zero temptation, because I've already made my decision not to contribute to the suffering and death of animals for my palate pleasure. I've already decided that I'm not going to eat in a way that destroys the environment, and my health has benefited because of those ethical decisions. And so while I do occasionally eat food that's not optimal for my health, but I never ever eat food that's not vegan. And so that really limits my exposure to unhealthy food, because most unhealthy food isn't vegan. It's very, very seldom that you'll find anything that you could consider healthy that has got meat, dairy or eggs in it. So I'd really encourage you, if you're not already an ethical vegan, to educate yourself about the environmental and the animal rights aspects of eating. Watching documentaries, some of the best ones are Earthlings, Making the Connection, Live and Let Live, or speeches like Gary Yourofsky's The Best Speech Ever, and books like Gary Francione's Eat Like You Care. And you can find most of those things on YouTube. So that's what I would really encourage you to do, is to educate yourself. And the more that you educate yourself, the more it affects your mindset, and the easier it is when you're in social situations. And so that's my secret weapon for today. So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks very much.